first of all, thanks to everybody for participating in our meeting. Today, we will speak about the procedures how to obtain a visa for Italy and how to obtain the permit of stay and about other bureaucratic procedures in Italy. I will now leave the word to Francesca, who is a lawyer specialized in this field.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Veronica. Very nice to meet you. I, first of all, share my screen. Just let me 1 second. Do you confirm me that you see my desktop?
Yes, I do.
Perfect.
Yes, I do.
So it is called Take It Easy project. And it is a project in collaboration with your school because our goal is to help you have a stress-free stay in Italy. And we want to help you understand the essential steps you need to take to have a legal, smooth, and easy stay in Italy. So very nice to meet you. This is me. It's Francesca Gardella. I'm a lawyer, associate and partner at Fribili Law Firm in Milan, but we operate all around Italy. And these are my expertises: criminal law, immigration law, and human rights. These are my direct contacts, so please feel free to get in touch with me if you have any specific situation you want to tell me about, and I will be happy to help you, giving you general information in order to orient you. So today, this project has the goal to give you general information. So please take note that it cannot be exhaustive, as this is a very delicate and complex subject. So there are a lot of things to know, but these will be just the essential information you need to know in order to come and stay here. But for any further details, we need to get in touch for further analyze. So why is it important to be compliant with the Italian immigration law? Why is it important to respect Italian immigration law? I am talking to you if you're staying in Italy for more than 90 days, for more than 3 months. Okay, if you're staying here for a long period, you have specific obligation to respect. Why? Because there are risks if you do not. Risks like expulsion, fines, penalty, criminal charges, but loss of work if you will be working here, limited access to services, and risk of labor exploitation if you're not regular here. But if you respect these obligations, there are also a lot of benefits and you can have access to a lot of rights. That's why we are here today. So the benefits are legal stay, protection on behalf of Italy, access to public services like healthcare, education, social benefits, work opportunities because you have a legal protection under Italian labor law, family reunification opportunities, and pathway to permanent stay in Italy or citizenship, and also access to financial and social integration. But in order to respect the obligations, you need to face local authorities and bureaucracy. So navigating Italian bureaucracy can be really stressful and difficult. These are the main challenges you will be facing, or maybe you already faced. Language barrier. Here in Italy, Italian people do not speak very well languages and English. So the forms are written only in Italian, and people working in the offices speak only Italian. Limited digitalization. There is a mix of processes, physical and digital. In order to access to digital processes, you need to have SPID. SPID is the Italian digital ID. So you need to be resident here, you need to have Italian ID in order to have speed to access these services. So it is really complicated. And complexity, because there is no one rule that fits everything, every situation, because there are different rules depending on the type of permit, the type of situation, your home country. So it is really easy to make impactful mistakes. And timeline, it is really uncertain and long. Another challenge is that you may look for information on the website, but please take note that information on internet can be incorrect and not updated. So please don't ask ChatGPT how to face your specific situation because ChatGPT is not updated. Here in Italy, immigration laws change very often. I will talk about a very recent law about citizenship that just became definitive 2 days ago. So it is really hard to have all the information from the website. It can be really useful, but it cannot be exhaustive for you. That's why we want you to help you collect all the information you need. So today we are here to give you general information and orientation and about the essential step before your arrival and upon your arrival. There are a few differences if you are coming from Europe or from an extra European country. So we'll be try to be precise telling you the differences. So visa, let's start with the visa. It's interesting only for extra European expats. So the main thing to know is that you have to move before your departure, at least 3 months before your departure. Where to ask? You need to ask, excuse me, you need to request your visa at the Italian consulate or embassy in your home country, or in your country, in the country you are resident, or in the country you are now studying. We will now focus on what to do. Remember always that the expired date of the travel document must be 3 months longer than that of the visa requested. So I wanted to tell you, first of all, that there is a very useful website called Visto per l'Italia, that is a portal of the Italian Ministry of the Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, where you can find the documentation to collect and where you can find a lot of information and suggestions. I want to click it here for you and show you. This is the website. You select your language. You can see visa for Italy. Do you need visa? If you go just here, there are 4 questions to find out if you need a visa. You just select your nationality, your country of residence, the length of your stay, the reason of your stay. I make you an example just to show you how many information. United States, let's have a try like this. From United States, I want to stay more than 90 days and I want to stay in Italy because I study Italian, okay? So you select study. You go to answers and you can find all the documents and forms you need, and where to apply in the US, for example. Okay, so I close it. I just wanted to show you. So please visit this website because it's really useful for you. But also please visit the embassy and the consulate website because there you can obtain up-to-date information on the requirements and on the necessary documentation. Second, collect the necessary documentation. So carefully prepare all the required documents, which usually include the school letter of admission, enrollment, the proof of the accommodation you will be having in Italy, the health insurance coverage, the demonstration of sufficient financial means of your stay. I want to focus 1 second on this. I want you to know that you have to prove that you have sufficient financial means during your stay in Italy and for coming back to your home country. Who do you demonstrate and how much do I have to demonstrate? You should have an income at least 6,000 euro per year, $6,000 per year if you are one person. How to demonstrate? Through your bank statements. So you have to prove that you have check, sponsorship or affidavit. So by a family member or a person who is hosting you in Italy. And if you're coming here for work, you need to provide the income from your employment. So if you have a contract, for example. Health insurance. Health insurance. We will talk about this shortly, but I wanted to tell you that if you're staying here for less than a year, it is worth it to have a private health insurance. If you're staying longer, like more than a year, you can have access to our national healthcare system, but I will talk about this shortly. The health insurance needs to cover medical expenses, hospitalization, repatriation to your home country in case of an emergency. And it has to have minimum coverage of $30,000 for medical expenses, and it must be valid in Europe and for sure in Italy. So after that, you have to fill your application, submit your application. You can find all the instructions on your embassy and consulate website, on the Italian consulate in your home country website, and prepare for the visa interview. So some embassies and consulate may require an interview as part of the visa application process. So prepare by answering potential questions about the purpose of your stay in Italy, your study path, your goals, your project, and how you want to intend to support yourself while staying in Italy and where you are staying in Italy. So let's go through the essential steps you need to take. And we have now the declaration of presence. The declaration of presence is, here, I talk here about the declaration of presence you need to submit if you're staying longer than 3 months. You need to do it if you're European and if you are extra-European, but you don't have to do it if you enter Italy from a non-Schengen country because you have a stamp on your passport at the barrier, so it is like declaration of presence. Or if you're going to a B&B, Airbnb, or a hotel, because the hotel will do it for you. When to do it? Within 8 working days after your arrival. Where? I've written here Milano because I work in Milano, but at any immigration office of Questura. Questura is a police headquarters. what to do. You only need to fill a form with the information required and sign it. Remember, bring always with you a copy of the declaration of presence because you could be asked during a police check, for example. Residence permit. Residence permit only for extra-European expats. When? Within 8 working days after your arrival. Where? Here I have put the specific case of the study permit, so the study residence permit. So for you, if you're coming here and you want to request a study permit, you need to go to the post office and you need to fill a postal kit with all the information. You need to go to Prefettura, another office, if you're coming here for work, for family reunification, and for conversions. But we focus now on the study permit. What will you receive when you will be at the post office? You will receive a receipt. In this receipt, it is very important to know that you will have an ID and a password to access to a website where you can monitor the status of your request. And then you will receive a letter with the date and the time of the appointment at the Questura. Questura is the police office. Don't be afraid if it happens that you need to wait a few months for the appointment at the Questura, because if you go now to the post office give you the appointment at the Questura in September, October. It is absolutely normal because there are so many requests. So it could take a few months to have this appointment at the Questura. What happens at the Questura? At the Questura, photos and fingerprints will be taken. After that appointment, you will receive an SMS when the residence permit is ready. So it is very important to know that you have to have an Italian SIM card in order to receive this communication. In the meantime, you need to keep with you the postal payment receipt and the receipt of your appointment because it's an official document. So you can go around Italy, but you cannot travel around Europe with this receipt. On the electronic card, on the electronic permit, you will also find your tax code. The tax code, it is necessary for you to access to healthcare system. Here I have put a few types of residence permit, but there are so many types of permit. We can focus now on the study and professional training one because I think it's most useful for you. But you have to know that you can convert, if the requirements are fulfilled, you can convert your permit. Now I focus on the study one. So you are here because you attend university, private schools, languages courses, professional training. The duration is the same duration as the course and it's renewable. You can work, but you can work only maximum 20 hours per week. I wanted you to pay attention on this. If you want to request the renewal or the conversion of your residence permit, you must submit the request at least 60 days before the expired date of the permit, because there are long queues. So it could happen that if you ask it before, like one day before the expired date, you will have the appointment at the Questura like in 3 months. So you're going to stay with an expired residence permit, okay? And be aware that the bureaucratic processes and the documentation may vary significantly according to the different type of permit. Residence registration. It is mandatory for European expats, for European citizens and their family members. It is mandatory also for the extra-European who are working here or are here for medical care or family reasons. But it's also optional for extra-European who are staying here for study, for example. When it is mandatory, it is free to access, to register. Actually, no, it is always free. I'm sorry. It costs only for the registration of the healthcare. I am sorry about this. So if you want to, um, sorry, if you want to what is the residence registration? Sorry, I make this premise. The registration of the residence, it means that you are registered in the municipality you are living in. If you are a resident, you can have access to a lot of different services. One of these services I was previously talking about is the healthcare system. But first of all, you need to know that it is optional for extra-European, it is mandatory for European citizens. When to do it, there is not a deadline for this. You can do it whenever possible, but it is really highly recommended. Where you can do it on the website of the municipality. For example, Milan municipality, you will find on the website the form to fill in order to submit the request, or you can do it in a anagrafe office. It's the national ID registry offices on the territory. What to do? You only need to fill this declaration saying why you're here, what type of permit you have here, and where you are staying. So if you have a rent contract, or if you have a house here, or if you are hosted here. So you will be registered here, and you have to know, if you're extra European, that you need to renew the registration within 60 days after the renewal of your residence permit. I was saying it is really important to register if you're going to stay here for a bit, like 1 year or more, because you can have access to a lot of public services. For example, electoral services or healthcare services, eligibility for the first home tax benefit, or you can request the Italian ID, you can request the digital ID, you can have access to electronic health record, or it is important if you want to request the citizenship, because you have a starting point, the day of the registration, for the deadline to apply for your citizenship. You have to know that a few days ago, there was a very important update on citizenship, Italian citizenship. And if you stay in Italy, if you're registered in one of the Italian municipality, so if you have a legal residency here in Italy, after 2 years, for example, if you have Italian parents or grandparents, you can have access to Italian citizenship, for example. So this is an example of how it could be important to be registered. I was talking about the registration to the national healthcare system before when I got confused, and I was telling you that it is mandatory for the European expat and for the extra-European who are working here. It is optional for you if you are students, and it costs 700 euros per year. But you have to know that the voluntary registration is a valid calendar year. So from January 1st to 31st of December. So if you're coming to Italy in October, it is not worthy to register, as you will benefit only 2 months of the services. So I suggest you, if you're staying for a long period, to register to the National Healthcare from January 1st, 2026. And you have unlimited access as an Italian citizenship. You have a family doctor, and you have access to all the healthcare um, services, so exams and visits and later and so on. You need to know that if you request the registration, you will have a health card, and the health card is issued based on the duration of your residence permit. So when the residence permit expires, it is necessary to renew this registration. So after this general information, Scuola Leonardo and I want you to offer you a one-to-one consultancy and assistance services if you need, and only on demand at very discounted rates. So we want you to be a kind of fast track through the immigration maze. And how can we help you, and what are our services? First of all, you need to know that we can offer you a complete and multilingual assistance throughout the entire procedure. So we can help you with the visa, with the citizenship, with the residence permit, so the request, the update, the renewal, the conversion. We can help you with the registrations. We can help you with the family reunification processes and with the registration to the national healthcare. We can help you in English, in French, in Spanish, in Portuguese, in Ukrainian, in Russian, and also in Arabic. We have different services levels. So if you want just to start level, we can offer a little package called to start. So we can have a meeting in order to study together the feasibility and the problems or the difficulties of your situation, and we help you out with the checklist of the necessary documentation, and we collect with you the documentation.
Подумала, мне
If
очень
you
пришло,
want
я
to be,
подумала, может быть, нам такое надо?
may I please ask to switch out the
Кстати, да,
microphone?
что это за ужас?
Thank you very much. As we are a lot of people, it's
Что, я
difficult
могу ноут
to. Could you please switch it off the microphone? Thank you very much. Another service level that we have, it is called Make It Easy, and we help you out with all procedures. So from the feasibility meeting up to filling and submitting the application, assistance during the appointments at the offices, and monitoring the status of your request and the communication of the offices. So you select the package you prefer, and I wanted to show you the prices only because it is very important for us to tell you before, upfront, and with transparency, what are our rates. These are very discounted rates compared to the market, and I wanted to show you that you have a range up to maximum 900 euros if you will be helped out with the entire procedure. But if you pick up the very to start package, it will cost 150. Why we want to tell you this? Because for us, it is important that our services are accessible to everybody, and that the rates are known before and transparent. We can help you as well with a lot of immigration related services like documentation, translation, legalization, driver license conversion, labor or rent contracts checkup, bills against visa denials if you happen to have a visa denial. So we can help you out with everything related to your immigration situation. Our goal is to handle it all for you in order to guarantee a stress-free stay in Italy for you. So these are my contacts and this is my email. So for any specific situation, questions, I will be happy to help you and to answer by email within 1 or 2 working days. Now, if you have, Veronica, if there is any questions,
Yeah.
doubts, anything that I uh, told too quickly or that is not clear, I'm here to answer to your questions.
Okay. Thank you so much, Francesca. Thank you. It was very helpful, very clear. So I'm very happy to have this meeting with you today. So I will read some questions. Some of them are a little bit personal or very, very, very specific. So I took notes about them. So we will answer to you. If we don't do it now, we will do it later. So don't worry if I don't read your question. And I'm seeing now that there are many questions more. So the first one is, and maybe I can answer to this question. I've been told that the Italian consulate is no longer granting study visas for language schools unless you are already at B1 level. Is this true? Okay, this is one of that situations. We need to talk about your specific case because it depends on where you are most of all. So the important thing is that there must be a connection between your studying here in Italy and your previous studies. So apart from the level, which changes from one country to another, the important thing is that there is a connection between your background study and your studies here in Italy. So it's very different. So from one
That's
country to
why,
another.
Veronica, sorry to interrupt, that's why it's really important at the meeting for the visa to tell the office operators why you're coming to Italy, why for you it is important to study Italian, sorry, because maybe you have a specific study path to take. So
Exactly.
Italian is a tool to study another thing or to work in a specific area. So it is a tool to access to something else in Italy. So it is not just for leisure.
Exactly. Yeah. Then we have, do you mean job contract or what contract can we show at the time of applying for visa?
Anyone. It has to be an agreement, and it can be also a self-employment agreement. For example, I am a lawyer. I have partnership or agreements with institution or clients, but I am not employed. Um, I'm not a dependent employed. So any work contract, so any work agreement, it is fine. The only thing to demonstrate is the income so that you have enough income. So if you have at least more or less 6,000 euros per year. So that is the main requirements to demonstrate.
Yeah. Then we have, will you send this send email? Will you send this PowerPoint by email?
Excuse me?
We can
Sorry, because
share.
I saw the question work agreement also is if I'm studying. No, sorry,
No,
Veronica, if I
no,
interrupt.
no, don't worry at all.
Work agreement only if you're coming here with the work permit.
Yeah. So will you send this PowerPoint by email? We will share this PowerPoint? Yes, we will. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
after this webinar, we will share this presentation and a mini pocket guidebook where you can find a few more details on what I've told you today.
Yeah. Then, can I remain in Italy after my student visa expires on June 20, given that I have applied for a permesso di soggiorno and I have an appointment scheduled on August 20?
Yes, yes, you can, but is it the first release or it is a renewal? I didn't get this. In any case,
Vicky, tell us.
Sorry, yes, it is the first.
It is the
It is the
first.
first. Okay. If it is the first release, you request your permit and you have the receipt of the appointment. The receipt of the appointment, it is an official document, but you can travel around Italy and not around Europe. Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect, thank you.
Then we have Timothy. I have a Codice Fiscale number issued by the Los Angeles consulate. However, they only issue a PDF, not a physical card. What is the easiest way to get a physical card?
If you want the physical card, you need to do an application to Agenzia delle Entrate. You will find it on the mini guidebook, but you have to go to Agenzia delle Entrate, and you will find on the website, I am extra European, how can I request the health card and the tax code, so both of the services. So, but actually, if you do not register to the national healthcare system, it is sufficient to have that PDF with your tax code. It is not necessary to have the physical card.
Yeah. Can I use Airbnb as accommodation or visa application? And can I arrive before the start date of my classes?
Sure,
Yeah, sure.
sure.
Yeah, you can. Does healthcare cover prescriptions?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. Regarding the applying for Italian citizenship, I'm married to an Italian since 10 years, and we have two daughters, Italian. I moved to Italy since July 2023, and my permesso di soggiorno is for 5 years. When and how can I apply for the Italian citizenship, and what are the documents needed for that? It is
This
a
is really
big
specific.
topic. Yes.
It's really specific, but I can tell you that you have the requirements also now, because if you have children, you have to be here in Italy since 2023, you said. So you can do it now. So you can do the request through the website of Ministero. But if you want more details, please write me and I will write you down the procedure, because it can be different on specific situation like yours, children, not children,
Yeah.
if the marriage was Italian or abroad. So we need to understand a few details. But please write me down your situation, and I will tell you where to do with the process, or I can help you out with it.
Then, can you confirm how long it will take to get a student visa? I had previously read 45 days, but you said 3 months.
I hear everything from you, students. I sometimes it takes a short time,
Yeah,
sometimes longer. I'm sorry, I do not have a precise time to tell you. I know a few months, like 2, 3 months. It could take 2, 3 months. So it is always better to move very early in order to be precise with the start of your courses. Yes.
yeah. Could you please inform how much a student has to show for maintenance fee, living expenses per year?
There are specific tables on the when I showed you the portal of the ministry, the website I open up with you, you can see on that website the tables. Every year, the tables with the precise amount change each year. So
Yeah,
you need to see there that those tables. It is around 6,000 euros per year, but it is not precise. It depends if you're coming here alone or with a family member as well.
yeah. I attached the website and I will do it now again. Okay, so you have it here. Then,
Perfect, thank you.
let me check. Oh, we have a lot of questions. Allora, um, 17 years old students, could you help to provide guardianship?
Do you have anybody hosting you here, or you're coming here alone?
Marianna, tell us. So let's wait for
Alone.
Marianna. Thanks a lot, Francesca. It was very helpful. Can I get copies of the slides? Yes. Grazie mille, Francesca. Thank you for all the information. I want to ask about the blocked account amount for Tunisian students.
Yes.
Blocked
Well, excuse
account
me, I didn't hear the
amount.
the specific question.
So I want to ask you about the blocked account amount for Tunisian students.
The block amount, what do you mean exactly?
I don't know.
The
So
block
maybe you
amount,
can
you
write
need that
us,
that is
Mariam.
it's very difficult to get the visa. You mean maybe.
Maybe.
There are a lot of countries, unfortunately, where this happens.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, from here, it is really difficult to help. But if you have a visa denial, a specific visa denial, we can help you out and make an appeal. So we go
Yeah.
against this decision, telling why did you decide to deny the visa? There are the requirements for the visa to be issued, so this is not legitimate. So we can help you out with this,
Yeah,
but I cannot tell
absolutely.
you why there are visa blocks. I'm sorry about this. And excuse me, Veronica, before the girl of 17 years old, of 17 years old, she can come here alone, but she needs to prove where she's staying and if she has enough means to take care of her life. And maybe it would be better to have an affidavit from her parents.
Yeah. And Tugba, you raised your hand, right? No, maybe it was a mistake. Does the chosen course have to be paid in full at the time of visa application?
Questo, Veronica, forse
It
lo sai più
depends.
tu.
It's up to the schools. So it depends.
It,
So
it,
yes,
it should be
usually yes.
yes,
Yeah,
and you have to have the enrollment, the
exactly.
registration at
Of
the
course,
school.
in order to have all the documents, yeah, the amount should be paid before. Yeah. And Tugba?
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry I couldn't catch the beginning of the
Don't
webinar.
worry, please.
Okay, I just wanted to ask that does the A1 Italian language certificate require for the visa application? Does it still the
A1?
same? A1 Italian
No,
language.
no.
No.
A1 is not enough.
Anne-Marie, tu es revenue d'entre les morts.
A1 is not enough, unfortunately.
A1 is
No,
not enough, you say that.
is not enough. No.
For visa application.
Usually, oh, sorry. It depends, as I told you before, it depends a lot on where you are from. So we need to analyze each case because sometimes you need A2, sometimes you need B1. So there are a lot of things implicated. So we need to talk about every specific case. So feel free to write us and we will give you everything, all the information about your specific country, your specific case.
Okay.
And
Thank
Vicky,
you.
Can you apply for the Italian citizenship through your grandparents?
Yes.
oh, Francesca, prego.
Yes. Okay.
Could you please tell me more about the situation? If you have Italian grandparents,
Yes.
yes, you can, and also the parents, yes, you can apply. It depends if they still have the Italian citizenship or not, and it depends when they lost it. So there are a few differences, but generally I say yes. If you cannot do it by blood, So there are a few ways to get the citizenship. If you cannot do it by blood, you can have access to the Italian citizenship by residency. So if you stay in Italy with the legal registration to the municipality where you're living, at least for 2 years, and you have grandparents born in Italy, you can have access to Italian citizenship.
Okay. Is it
Before it was 3 years. Now with the new law, it is 2 years of legal residency if you have Italian grandparents.
do you can I have your email so I can contact you directly?
Sure. You can find it in the presentation. I show you. I write it down in the chat again,
Brava.
so
Yeah,
you
you
can.
can write it down in the chat so everybody can see it and take note.
Oh, it's Francesca Gardella at freeblay or freeblay.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vicky,
Okay.
please.
Thank you. I have a student visa, and after it expires, I would love to use the Schengen tourist visa. Do I need to exit the country, meaning exit the Schengen area, and then re-enter, or can I continue to stay?
So you have a study visa, and it has already expired.
No, it expires on June 20th. And
June
my
20th.
permesso di soggiorno appointment on August 20th. So I was wondering if after June 20th, my student visa, does my Schengen tourist visa kick in or no?
No, you cannot you cannot travel around Europe.
Okay.
Sorry, this one is your it's the renewal, because you said that you already have one
I have a student visa.
that expires. If it is a second release, so if it is the renew, you can travel with the receipt. But
Oh.
it would be better
Mhm.
because they know that it takes too long to get the appointment at the questura. So if you have to work, you
Mhm.
can bring with you your receipt of the
Mhm.
appointment. If you are only traveling like for tourists, there could be problem. If you have to go back to your country, you can go back to your
Always.
country whenever you want.
Mhm.
With the receipt going around Europe, there could be problems. Yes.
Okay.
But
So
if
then,
you're working, I know because I have some clients working with a expired permesso, but they have the receipt of the appointment. They can travel, and the police don't say anything. So
if I wanted the Schengen tourist visa to kick in, no,
No,
that
no,
what
doesn't.
is
no.
the Schengen
No,
visa?
perché lei dice se mi scade il 20 di giugno il
Sì,
permesso da studente,
sì,
il visto studenti e il 20 di agosto ho l'appuntamento per rinnovare questo visto
sì.
studenti, per quei 2 mesi posso usare i miei 90 giorni di visto
Mhm.
turistico per stare in Italia dagli Stati Uniti? No, perché
Yes,
lei
you
è
can.
già qua.
Yes, she can stay here. She's regular.
Yeah, of course, ma lei dice per viaggiare in Europa. Lei può viaggiare come se avesse un visto Schengen turistico? No.
No,
Oh,
no.
Posso provare? Scusa, faccio io la
Certo,
Sì, sì, ho
prego.
capito.
Quando diceva kicks in intendeva dire se essendo lei già qui in Italia, quando le scade il visto che gli è stato dato tramite la Scuola Leonardo, se automaticamente diventa una turista che ha 90 giorni da usare o se deve andare.
Ah, vedi, non avevo
Era
capito. I beg your
questo.
pardon, I didn't get the point. No.
No,
She doesn't have a touristic visa. No,
no.
automatically. No.
So she has to leave and then she has to come back to use this
Yes,
next.
but we can actually, if we provide the do you already have your travel tickets? For example, you need to go to France in July. If you already have the tickets, we can ask the questura to put the appointment before in order to have the permesso before. We can ask to quicken a little bit the process. It would be better not to go outside and then coming back here.
Ah, ok, perché
Cioè,
lei
se noi facessimo un sollecito alla questura, già magari con i biglietti presi perché ha un matrimonio, adesso mi invento,
Sì.
possiamo chiedere: ho questa necessità, mi avete messo l'appuntamento troppo tardi, ho bisogno di viaggiare in Europa, mi mettete l'appuntamento prima, possiamo provare
In
a
realtà
chiedere.
poi, perché so che ci sono altre persone, era solo per capire, lei non deve neanche andarsene dall'Italia, la domanda è, deve
No, no,
andarsene?
no.
No, no.
In realtà dopo che dopo che ha finito il visto da studente, diciamo, quello diventa automaticamente una turista e quindi ha, diciamo, 90 giorni in più che può passare qui in Italia o prima deve andarsene?
No, non diventa automaticamente
Lei
una
non deve
turista.
andarsene perché ha l'appuntamento il 20 di agosto, quindi quella è la ragione per cui lei può restare qua,
Ok,
non perché diventa automaticamente una turista.
ok,
Questo è perché lei ha già un appuntamento per un rinnovo, quindi
grazie.
può restare qua, non può viaggiare in Europa, può tornare nel suo paese e poi ritornare qui.
Ok.
Scusami, però, where are you from, Vicky?
The US.
US.
US, so
Yeah.
in Italy, for example, if you're from the US and you're staying in Italy for less than 3 months, you only need to do the declaration of presence. So you need to check in the country of Europe you're going to if it is enough to declare
Ah,
your presence,
Mhm.
because you do not need a visa for touristic reasons if you're staying less than 90 days.
I'm staying more than 90 days.
You're staying more?
Mhm.
No, no, no. I'm sorry. No,
niente.
I was trying to find a
Mhm.
way to
Oh,
have it.
okay.
No,
Ciao
more than
Sara.
90 days, no.
Okay.
Scusa Francesca,
Ciao
Eccoci.
Geraldine.
Geraldine da Firenze.
Ciao.
Buongiorno,
Allora,
piacere.
sentivo che appunto dicevate che avendo l'appuntamento a luglio lei può restare. Io non so se è così perché lei per fare un prolungamento del visto deve iscriversi al corso, però a Firenze non accettano più se non ha un numero già del permesso di soggiorno primo, non può fare un prolungamento. A
Io
me
ho
ci hanno
praticamente,
detto, cioè
sì, io
alla
ho,
posta proprio non ci prendono il kit del prolungamento.
Ma quindi lei ha un
ma lei l'ha
appuntamento sulla
fatto,
base di
perdonatemi,
cosa?
È un
l'appuntamento l'ha fatto
appuntamento? Sì, prego, prego.
prima della scadenza, l'ha fatto.
Lei è appena arrivata ha fatto la richiesta del permesso di soggiorno. Il problema a Firenze è che hanno un overbooking di permessi di soggiorno e gli appuntamenti li danno già dopo che è scaduto il visto. Questo è il problema che abbiamo
Sì, sì,
attualmente a
sì.
Firenze.
Mm.
No, e allora lì bisogna scrivere alla questura formalmente, perché in teoria il tempo sarebbe 60 giorni dalla richiesta. Quindi se tu me lo metti addirittura dopo la scadenza del visto, la questura si deve sbrigare, lì bisogna mandare una PEC.
Ok, quindi Vicky, mandare email alla PEC, alla
Però
questura.
Il caso di Vicky è più semplice perché non è un first release. When it's not a first release,
Mhm.
you can stay here without any worries. Also, if your visa is expired. If it
Mhm.
is a first release, there are more questions.
Okay,
Okay.
so maybe you can
Glad
keep in
to
touch so
hear.
you
Thank
can
you.
discuss
Mm,
about your specific situation, right?
Grazie, grazie mille anche.
Ok, niente, grazie a voi.
figurati.
So, let's go on. Okay, the biggest problem in Morocco is visa
Mm.
appointments. Can you help with that?
No,
No.
no, but I have a colleague here who's from Morocco, and I can ask him if he's got any, he's an immigration lawyer, so I can ask him help. So maybe write me down the specific situation and problem, and I will try to help you out with his cooperation. Maybe
Okay.
he can suggest us something useful. Personally, I cannot, but has he's got many relationships with a Morocco institution? Maybe yes.
Then, if I have an agreement with an Italian organization to work as a part-time intern and planning to move to Italy on language school, will this work? You can work part-time if you have a study visa, if this is the
Exactly,
question. Yeah,
exactly.
you can work
Yes.
part-time, 20 hours
Up
per
to
week.
20 hours.
Yeah,
Up to
yeah, 20 hours per week. Per week.
If you're working longer, you need a work permit, but in the meantime, you can always study,
Yeah,
okay? At the university, private institutions, languages. So if you're working here, more than 20 hours per week, you need a work permit, but you can study, you can register at the Italian language courses.
what are key takeaways from the processes discussed for someone who possesses dual citizenship, included Italian. So you don't need anything.
Anything. If you're
No, no,
Italian,
anything. You are Italian, so anything. Okay, about the prices of the schools, just write us. I will write it down also my email. So everything regarding the courses, Italian language course, and prices and fees for everything, just write me. Can you tell us the student visa process for a student traveling from United Emirates? From Emirates.
the process is the one we
Is the
talked about.
same.
You need, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
extra
absolutely.
EU citizen. Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
yes.
Grazie,
You need
grazie.
to always check the the Italian consulate website for more specific details on the procedure. There could be one more document to provide, but if you go to the website of the Italian consulate in your country, you find everything. If you do not find everything in that website, remember the other website I showed you. If you write, I am from Emirates, I am resident in the Emirates, I'm coming to Italy for these days, you will have the list of everything you need and the forms to download and complete.
Yeah. I read that the consulate will take your passport when you are applying for the student visa. Is it true, even if it takes a long time? They will keep your passport while you are applying for a visa? The consulate in my country?
Generally not. They
I
do
don't know.
not keep it. I don't know if, where is this person from?
Nina, where are
Maybe
you from?
From England. I'm in
England.
London. I actually read it on the
they keep it
on
for the entire procedure.
it's what I read on the website of the Italian consulate here was that
So it is like
they
this.
keep the
Yes.
passport. And I just was not sure because if it can be for several months, obviously that really limits your movement
Yeah,
um,
sure.
in the process. Yeah.
If you want, I check it out for you, but if it is written like this, I guess it's like this. It is not always like this. That's why
Okay.
I have doubts. But
Okay. I will send you an email with my
yes, so that
personal
I
questions.
remember
Yeah.
and I answer, giving
Yes.
you the
Thank you.
confirmation or not. Okay,
Yes, that's great. Thank you very much.
no worries.
Yeah. And Martin, if you need more details about health insurance, just write Francesca, just write an
Yes.
email to Francesca and she will answer with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go to school if I have an elective residency visa?
Yes, but you cannot work.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can study, but you cannot work.
What is the duration for the language school? It's up to you. Just remember that if you need a study visa, of course, you need to have a certain type of course with a certain amount of hours of tuition. So just write me and I will give you all the information about it. Grazie, grazie. Can we get visa on a language course? This is a very common question. Can we get visa on a language course as beginner? No, I would say no now. We can,
È
of
richiesto.
course, se sei beginner, we can, of course, talk about every single case because not in every case is the same thing. But if I need to give you like a very general answer, it would be no. But let's talk about it. So write us. If the travel document needs to be 3 months longer than the visa, does that mean if I plan to study for 12 months, I can only apply a visa for 9 months? No.
No, if you're coming here for 6 months in September, so your visa expires in March, Your passports need to be valid until March, April, May, until June 2026.
Exactly.
So 3 more months than the expire date of your visa.
Yeah. Then, how do we sign up request to begin the Take It Easy services? Write an email to Francesca. She
I
wrote.
wanted to answer to Nirav Saha. May I know, do you have any age limitation for language courses? No,
Absolutely.
of course not.
Absolutely not. Is there any difference in the process if you are a minor? Yes, Francesca. Yeah.
A few more documents, yes,
Yeah.
to about the hospitality, where the minor is staying, and the economic means. Yes.
Yeah.
But a few more guarantees, yes.
Yeah. Then can you say something, just Francesca, some small information about these great grandparents citizenship, which is not longer valid? Enrico asked us if if it can be contested in the courts system.
It depends if the citizenship request, the citizenship application has already been submitted before March
Exactly.
2025. If you have already submitted your request, the previous law will be applicable to your case. If you haven't submitted the request yet, so you are doing today, for example, no, you can only access to Italian citizenship if you have parents and grandparents, so only 2 degrees.
Yeah. After 3 month visit limit, so visit, can I exit and re-enter?
You don't have to exit. If you come here, if you are extra European and you come here, you for a period of less than 90 days, so for less than 3 months, you do the declaration of presence, saying, I'm here for business, for study, for tourism. But if you decide to stay longer, you then ask with Questura for a residence of permit. But you do not have to go back to your country.
Mhm.
Okay, if you are from a extra European country for whom it is not requested a visa, so for example, United States, if you are from United States and you're coming to Italy less than 3 months, you do not need a visa for touristic reasons. So you just do the declaration of presence. If you want to stay longer, you can ask, for example, specific residence permit you need, you can do it. But if you are requested if a visa is requested for your home country, yes, you have to go back to your home country.
Mhm.
It
Can I
depends. It
arrive?
depends if
Mhm.
you have family member here. So there are a few specific situation in which you can stay here and request, for example, the family reunification from here. So if you have a specific situation, again, I suggest to write me, because I could be here not precise, not because I don't want to be precise, but maybe because there are a detail that I'm not
Yeah.
counting in this answer.
And there are so many details, so it's very important to
Mm.
explain the situation, the specific situation of everybody, and because everything can change just for details. Can I arrive 2 months before my class? You can arrive with your 90 days of staying, no? And then start after with your study visa. Yeah.
I can't hear you well now. Sorry, I have bad connection now.
Okay, we can hear it.
Okay,
Grazie
do you hear
mille,
me well?
Francesca.
Yes, you can
Grazie
come
mille.
before your
Mhm,
study course. Yes.
mhm. Um, does your Make It Easy package include assistance with finding housing?
No,
No.
no,
Unfortunately
sorry,
not.
it's more legal and administrative
Exactly.
systems.
Yeah. Mhm. Grazie, grazie, grazie mille, grazie mille. Questo l'abbiamo già detto. No, no. Is 1 year a minimum amount of time to study? Could you study for 6, 9 months? Of course you can. Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. Okay, Martin told us, I don't remember who was the girl who asked before, but I tried to apply from UK and they kept my passport throughout the process. So it's,
So we confirm this.
yeah, yeah, they keep your passport. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm, no. Oh, ah. And the question about the age, may I know if you have any age limitation for language course? I am 38. Of course not. Of course not. No, no, no. Courses are from 16 to
You can be
100.
students all your life, for
Absolutely.
a lifelong.
Martin would like to know something about good insurance companies. Martin, you can write to us. We can give you some advices
sure.
about that. Yeah, for sure. Grazie mille, grazie mille. Yes. If I pay to start, can I upgrade to make it easy afterwards?
Sure, sure, of
Yes.
course. If you need and you see that you need more help, I will be happy to help you out with everything. And I will discount the amount you have already paid to the second package, of course.
Mhm. For language course, do I need any language proficiency for visa application? Yeah, we can talk about it and talk about where you are from, many things. We will say everything about the level you need. Can I live in Italy being self-employed without an employer and not as a student? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, if you are self-employed, yeah, of course.
But you
Okay.
need to do all the procedure. You have to go to a tax consultant, open your, we call it partita IVA. So the number you can with which you can generate your invoices for your services. So you need to do some bureaucratic steps before you can work here.
Mm-hmm. And
What kind?
so, what kind, in this case, what kind of residency
It
or
is
visa?
called lavoro autonomo.
Lavoro
Autonomo
autonomo.
is self-employed. It's a work permit. Lavoro autonomo.
Okay, so thank you very much to all of you. It was so interesting also for me. Grazie Francesca, grazie
Grazie a
mille.
voi.
Thank you to
Grazie.
everybody and let's keep in touch. We will be
Absolutely.
happy to help you about. Oh, are there visas for artists?
Yes, there are.
Yes, there are.
And there are also specific residence permit for artists with different rules. It depends on what kind of artist you are, but yes, there are specific rules for them, for you.
Perfetto. Grazie mille a tutti. Thanks to
Grazie.
everybody. Grazie mille e a presto. See you soon. Here
It was a
or
pleasure.
somewhere else. Bye. Thank
Ciao,
you.
ciao.
Ciao
Grazie.
ciao.